Hi, Elle Ingalls here at elleingalls.com, or pressure-free.com is the other way to get to my website. Topic today is a huge obstacle to learning, one that I had no idea really existed until 2010. And just until recently, I wasn't even aware of just how powerful it can be to overcome this obstacle. So one of the things that people are really not aware of is just how the fight or flight stress response, any sort of feelings of feeling anxious, angry, annoyed at something, or ashamed of something, blocks our ability to learn, blocks our ability to lodge memory in our short-term memory, in our hippocampus back here. So I know for me that when I would get nervous with my violin in particular, I would have memory lapses. I'd suddenly forget a phrase. It's happened to me over and over again. I boom, can't remember something. And but I had no idea that in the process of learning, if one is anxious or annoyed or ashamed, it's extremely difficult to lodge any new memories. Case in point, you're in a social situation and you're meeting somebody for the first time. You've probably forgotten their name like 5 minutes later. That's because your hippocampus couldn't process the situation because of a little bit of social anxiety you were experiencing when you were going to this new event or meeting this person for the first time. So let's take a child going to school. Most children today wake up and the first thing that they hear is, "Hurry up, we're gonna be late." There's rushing going on. Everyone's trying to get out of the house. There's a lot to do. Pack the lunches, get the backpacks ready, all the things that are going on. So it's usually not really calm. There's usually a little bit of, we got to get out of the house kind of thing. Most children will have an instant fight or flight reaction to that and trigger those hormones that are going to shut down this hippocampus and your cortex, so your ability to think and remember, any sort of willpower. All of this is going to shut down somewhat. It could make your child go two directions. It could make them be kind of frantic, or it could plunge them into moving very slowly out of fear. So those are two things that I have noted in talking with many, many parents, that you'll see it. I saw it with my own kids, like different responses when they go into fight or flight. But then they get to school and they take their first test of the day. If they triggered fight or flight, it's impossible for them to really share the knowledge that they have. So then, learning new material, it's impossible for all of that material to be properly lodged into memory. So that's why so many children, you may see grades as a parent and think, I know my child is learning this stuff. What's the disconnect? The disconnect is anxiety, or annoyance or shame, these feelings that cause us to trigger fight or flight. And because the stress hormones have lasting effects so long in the body, so for little boys, it's up to 9 hours. For girls, it's up to 24 hours that their brains are dealing with a whole bunch of stress hormone sludge, is what I call it. That's a long time. So they're having to overcome so much just to get through their day. So it's really interesting to watch what happens when you can stop the release of those hormones. And a lot of people will say to me, well, isn't this genetic? My mother was very anxious, or my father was very anxious. My dad had a lot of depression. These emotional things are passed on generation to generation. The chief reason why they are passed on is because we imitate or we fight against. Sometimes I'm sure you've taken a look at something that your parent did and you said, well, that's just something I'm not going to do with my kids. So you're very intentional about changing your behavior. But there's other little sneaky habits of behavior, habits of reaction that we take in and we repeat to our own children. So it's habits of reaction and these things that we just imitated. Plus, if you may have imitated some things from your parents or other relatives, but you also imitated from teachers, coaches, and peers. We imitate a lot from peers. A lot of bullying behavior is actually a peer-to-peer transmission of behavior. And so all of these habits of reaction are the things that are costing us so much of our ability to use our hippocampus, use our cortex so we can think and remember, make good decisions, and literally use our brain the way it's designed to be used. So if you're a parent and you're trying to make all these decisions about what situation your child is going to learn in. I mean, some are going back to school today. Like today's the first day of school for some students around the country. There's so much going on. In the end, what it's really about is ability to learn. So if you can make sure that you start out your day as calmly as possible with things in an orderly, calm fashion so that there's no raised voices or tense voices here. And then when you're driving to school, I watch people drive to school, by the way. It's insane. They're so in fight or flight. The parents are just driving to school, trying to get everybody to school on time, trying to get to work on time. Like, you just need to chill out and just really have a great drive to school. See if you can make that drive to school really magical and peaceful and calm. Maybe fun, listen to some music or play a game in the car. Any of those kinds of things. That's going to help so much to set, especially with everything that's going on and all these new protocols, to have some sense of calm and peacefulness as your child's going back to school so that the learning can take place. Otherwise, you might as well just not do that because there's not going to be much learning go around if everybody is tense and everybody is scared and everybody is in fight or flight. So I hope this is helpful. I've really been thinking so much about parents and students. My new book's going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm going to get it done as fast as I can because it surely is something that we really need. It's called Pressure-Free Parenting, the 10-second solution to achieving more with less stress and burnout. So if you're interested in that parenting book, just drop me a little private message or put a comment down here below. I'll make sure to get you on my mailing list. I'm building that mailing list before I release my book. And if you're on that list, you're going to be able to help me get it out to all the people that you know too. So would love to have you join my list. So just send me a little private message or comment down below here. If you private message me, just give me your email address. I can pop it in. And I don't spam my list. I'm really great about it, but I do give you updates and let you know what's going on. So I'm wishing you a great, I see Bethany's on here, Keith and Nikki, thank you so much for joining. And I'm wishing everybody a really beautiful, pressure-free day and a pressure-free start to August as we navigate everything that's so new these days. Have a good one. Bye.